If everyone would please move towards your seats, silence all cell phones. We'll start to proceed with this 8th meeting of the House Local Government Committee, I believe. For those of you who may be participating virtually, when your name is called on the roll, let us know that you are participating from your annex office. Again, if everybody would just please move towards their seats, silence all cell phones, and we'll hush the room, and we'll get moving. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bentley? Representative Bray?
Yes.
Representative Brown? Representative Dixon? Yes. Representative Donahue? Representative Fleming? Representative Frazier Gordon? Representative Herron?
Here.
Representative Huff? Representative Imes?
Present.
Representative Johnson?
Here.
Representative Koenig? Here. Representative Lockett?
Here.
Representative Marzan? Representative Miller?
Present.
Representative Reed? Representative Roberts? Representative Thomas?
Present in the room.
Representative Meredith?
Yes, ma'am. We do have a quorum and are duly authorized to do business. We are going to go out of order on the agenda today, and we will be passing over Senate Bill 42 for the time being as well. We will start giving privilege to my co-chairman in the Senate committee with his Senate Bill 106. If you all would please introduce yourselves for the record, then you may proceed with your testimony.
Sure. I'm Senator Robbie Mills. I represent the 4th District in Western Kentucky.
J.D. Cheney with the Kentucky League of Cities.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today we have before you Senate Bill 106. Senate Bill 106 establishes an administrative process to dissolve former cities without forcing people who live there to pay the legal expenses to dissolve those cities. It requires cities to file with DLG by September 1 of this year their address, contact information, year of incorporation, and form of government. On October the 1st, DLG is to be notified, or DLG notifies cities that did not submit that. And on December 1st, DLG will publish a list in the local newspaper for the possibility of dissolving the city on January the 1st. DLG will hold an administrative hearing in the city should the city move toward dissolving. If cities are dissolved, any debts shall be satisfied on a pro rata basis, and any remaining assets.
And this allows it's a one-time bill, and it's really going to, we got it down to I think about 7 or 8 cities that it's probably going to, or former cities that it's going to impact, but nothing to do with the zip code at all, Representative Bentley.
Thank you, all. Thank you, Chairman.
Any other questions from members of the committee? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bentley?
Yes.
Representative Bray?
Yes.
Representative Dixon? Yes. Representative Fleming? Yes. Representative Herron?
Yes.
Representative Imes?
Yes.
Representative Johnson?
Yes.
Representative Koenig? Yes. Representative Lockett?
Yes.
Representative Miller?
Yes.
Representative Roberts?
Yes.
Representative Thomas?
Aye.
Representative Meredith?
Yes. Senate Bill 106 does pass with favorable expression. Same shit on the House floor. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you,
For your
Mr. Chairman
testimony.
and committee.
Congratulations. We will now move along to Senate Bill 135. Senator Howell, if you and your guest would approach, please identify yourselves for the record, and then you may proceed with your comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Jason Howell, Senate District 1.
I'm Tabitha Clemens, Grant County Clerk, representing the Kentucky County Clerks Association today.
I'm Barry Timler, representing the Kentucky Land Title Association.
Mr. Chairman, Senate Bill 135 is a result of the task force that you and I chaired over the interim, along with House members Patrick Flannery, Randy Bridges, and Ashley Tackett Lafferty. We appreciate the hard work of everybody going in on this. And we appreciate the work that all the member groups put in with this, the clerks associations, the fiscal courts, the realtors groups, the car dealers, bankers. Everybody came together and worked through this in the interim and produced what we think is really good legislation going forward to modernize our clerk's offices. Representative Meredith, you took House Bill 284 to deal with the car side of the clerk's offices. This bill deals with the land side and allows for the electronic recordation of all land records and the electronic searching of all land records, going back to certain dates with certain milestones. I can go as deep in the woods as you want on it. There's a $25 million funding component to this that is in the budget. I appreciate the help and support from Chairmans Petrie and McDaniel on that. And,
Senator, I thought you were going to let Tabitha do most of the talking today.
she's going to do the big part. She gets really disappointed if she doesn't get to talk. And with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Clemens.
Thank you, Senator. So we're just really thankful for Senator Howe, Representative Meredith, and all of those who served on the Modernization Task Force. It was a really great opportunity for clerks to be involved in legislation in the interim and to work with all of the partners that we have coming out of our offices. So it was something that we didn't know what to really expect going into the task force, but coming out of it, we're really thankful for all the work and for the opportunity to be sure that all of the stakeholders that have a piece of this puzzle were able to be heard and able to be involved in the process. So it's really, we're really excited about the possibilities of what this will bring forth in Kentucky and how we can move forward in the county clerk's offices, especially with some of the pieces of the puzzle with KDLA and making sure that there's money carved out there for grants for county clerks. Additionally, the $10 recording fee, that it can only be used for recorded instruments, and the appropriation that was made. And we're extremely thankful that that our voices were heard on the appropriation as well.
Motion from Representative Fleming, a second from Representative Bray. I think I do have some questions. Representative Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And deep in the bill, and must be on section 2(3)(c), talks about the fee will be maintained in a separate bank account, and then a little later on it says actually that was B4, and then in C it says the monies accumulated from this fee shall be held in perpetuity. That's kind of an odd word to be in talking about money. I mean, the count, I can see the count might be last in perpetuity, but the money, it sounds like, can't be touched. Could you just clarify that for me?
Sure. The intent on this, and Mr. Chairman, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the intent on that, there was some discussion about this $10 fee. This fee is designated for technology and technology upkeep, development, and maintenance. We do things a lot differently now. I've practiced long enough to remember when microfiche was cutting edge technology for reviewing our deeds.
And fax machines.
Yeah, yes, sir. So we don't know what the future holds either, but there's a lot of ongoing maintenance and cost from keeping up with the technology, dealing with the online portals, and this money is held in a separate account for that. In the perpetuity part, there were some questions about whether the money gets swept or not. This stays in the account. As you know from your own business, sometimes we don't spend any money on technology, and then we have a big buy. And that allows the money to accumulate in there. It helps with cash flow when things need to be taken care of.
Okay.
And Representative Miller, that was in relationship to auditor's office rulings. If you remember, we passed a county clerk's fee increase bill a few years ago that included the $10 permanent storage fee. I think the intent of the General Assembly at that time was that fee be used specifically for clerk's office modernization and maintenance. Unfortunately, it was not clarified enough in that bill originally, and what happened was the auditor said that those fees had to be turned over as traditional excess fees to the county, which then go into the county general fund and are not preserved to be used for the clerk's office ongoing maintenance and modernization.
Okay. Thank you.
Representative Roberts.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing this bill. My question is on Section 3, subsection 5, the part that pertains to libraries. Can you talk to me about, can you help explain the changes there and just assuage
Certainly.
any fears that this might be taking money away from our libraries?
It is not taking any money away from the libraries. So what this is there is a grant program currently in process that the county clerks has participated in for many years. Each time that we record, there's a list of documents that we record. Deeds, mortgages are included in there, title lien statements. Goes into a grant program. The grant program historically has focused on county clerk's offices since we are the sole source of income for the grant program. In the last several years, in testimony that was given this summer, the grant funding has significantly decreased coming back to the county clerk's offices. So this ensures that that money that only the clerks are putting into the grant program do come back to the clerk's offices 90%. So there's still 10% that can go to other local governments. So recently, some of the grants that were awarded did not restore permanent records. There was departments of police that received some grant funding. And while their records are probably important, they weren't permanent records. Everything concerning deeds, mortgages, and a county clerk's office are permanent records, meaning my county started in 1820 when it split from Pendleton, and I'm responsible for the deeds all the way back to 1820. So with that responsibility comes a great need for funding to ensure that those are preserved, and that's what that money is used for. It's not something that's specifically targeting any library, though. It's just that the Kentucky Department of Library and Archives are responsible for the record maintenance schedules that we're that we have to comply with. So that's why KDLA is listed in here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Representative, initially that fund had other sources of income several years back. But in the foregoing years and currently, the only people funding that grant fund are the county clerk's offices through their recording fees. And so we did want to leave the opportunity for other organizations to have the ability to dip into that at the 10% level, but get most of that money back to the clerks who are funding it, and make sure that also if there was not enough clerks' requests for funding, that they could fund other things as well if they didn't meet that 90% threshold.
Thank you.
Representative Lockett.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. My question is on Section 4 of the bill that talks about counties containing a population of less than 70,000 that are entitled to an advance. And my assumption would be that this would be a significant portion of the state that would have counties under 70,000. Just kind of reading through this, can you summarize this section for me in terms of exactly what happens, where the money comes from, where it goes to when it's paid back?
So county clerks' budgets are really interesting in how we start the year. For example, my county, I don't fee pool, so that's a term that's used in county clerk world that's not used very regular anywhere else in the budget. But I don't fee pool, meaning I don't, the fiscal court doesn't pay anything for my office, not retirement, not health insurance, not my salaries. My office pays for everything except for the light bill. But every January, I start the year with zero. I have to start every year with a $0 bank account. I have to start a new bank account every year, because the fiscal court receives the excess fees from my office at the end of the year. So starting 2022, at a $0 bank account, I have to show the auditor a bank statement that says zero. Some counties are now seeing times that it really takes a lot of, they have to figure out how to not work through some of the mail before the end of the year to try to make ends meet when they first come into the new year, because they have a payroll the first couple days of the year to pay. So this affords them the opportunity to receive an advancement, but they do have to pay it back from that same year fund. They can't dip into another year. They would, March is a huge month for the county clerks. We have Ag Tag in March, so I'm sure you've heard Commissioner Quarles talk about Ag Tag. All of our commercial trucks are due in March. Campers, our regular March birthdays. Once we get over that hump of March, then we're fine. But that first start of the year is what that section of the bill is addressing, that we start with $0 in the bank account.
Mr. Chairman, could I add to that? Representative Lockett, in real terms, I've got a couple of counties whose clerks will make personal loans to fund payroll for the first couple of months of their operation out of their own personal funds, and this keeps them from having to do things like that by allowing it should be labeled the cash flow measure in the title of that.
Thank you.
Any other questions from members of the committee? Seeing none, we do have a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bentley? Yes. Representative Bray?
Yes.
Representative Brown?
Yes.
Representative Dixon?
Yes.
Representative Fleming?
Yes.
Representative Herron?
Yes.
Representative Huff?
Yes.
Representative Imes?
Yes.
Representative Johnson?
Yes.
Representative Koenig? Yes. Representative Lockett?
Yes.
Representative Marzin? Yes. Representative Miller?
Yes.
Representative Roberts?
Yes.
Representative Thomas?
Aye.
Representative Meredith?
Yes. Senate Bill 135 does pass with favorable expression. Congratulations, and thank you all for being here today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
I am going to relinquish the chair right now to my friend and chair of another committee, Representative Koenig, so I can present Senate Bill House Bill 590.
What sort of powers do I have for the next 30 seconds? Okay. Thank you for bringing in Northern Kentuckian. 2 Northern Kentuckians.
I know how to appeal to a chairman, sir.
There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of committee, Representative Michael Meredith representing the 19th House District.
I'm Casey Ellis, the Owen County Judge Executive, and here on behalf of the Kentucky County Judge Executives Association.
James Daly, I'm the Campbell County Jailer and here for the Kentucky Jailers Association.
Mr. Chairman, House Bill 590 just fixes something that was created in an October 2021 Supreme Court ruling. Statute had always given the ability for jails to deduct money from inmates' accounts to cover their housing costs. There was a ruling in October of 2021 that caused some problems with that. This bill does continue to make sure that inmates have rights in that if money is deducted from their accounts and they are adjudicated to be acquitted of those crimes, then those funds are reimbursed to them by the jail. The real problem was that it had to do with an issue of court orders being issued, and sometimes the court system is certainly not as aware of the fiscal issues going on in a jail or in a county, even though they're the ones that are making the sentences or holding someone in jail prior to a conviction. And it's important that counties and the jails have the ability to address those needs. Does allow for a CPI increase in the daily per diem in future years, but everything else stays the same as it was in the previous statute with regard to the $50 per day per diem in that regard. I'll turn it over to Jim at this point for further comments.
Thank you, Representative. Again, I'll just go over a little bit about what he already talked about, but pardon me, this was Jones. The Supreme Court recognized Kentucky jails did have the right to deduct prisoner expenses from prisoner canteen accounts prior to sentencing, issuing reimbursement orders with the caveat that the jail did have to return the funds if no sentencing order allowing them to keep the funds issued. I think the language that the Supreme Court had put in their response was pretty important, and what they have said is they do not dispute that the jail has the right to deduct fees from a prisoner's canteen account if the funds become available. However, any funds automatically deducted by a county jail before an order from a sentencing court must be credited to the ordered reimbursement, and if, as in this case, which was of course the Jones case, no order from the sentencing court exists or will ever exist, the automatic deducted fees must be returned to the former prisoner. So basically House Bill 590 is a cleaning bill for jails so that when Representative Meredith talked about the courts not knowing. Of course, I've had much discussion with jailers from throughout the state. And in Campbell County, we can go to our courts, and they're amicable to issuing an order, whether it's a specific order or whether it may be an order across the board to pay all fees. That's not the case in some other jurisdictions. So it allows us a workaround for that we don't have to get those. The good thing, again, about House Bill 590 is that if the fees must be refunded to a prisoner if he is not convicted of a charge related to that specific arrest, again, with the exception of amounts owed to the jail from prior visits or prior confinements, and if they damage property. And those of you that are familiar with county government and county jails, a lot of times we have pretty substantial damage by the folks that visit us. So it allows us to keep that no matter what. It sets a maximum percentage that we're allowed to get. And again, as he said, it does allow for the consumer price index adjustment.
Motion on the bill. We have a motion and a second. You can keep going, or you can. Excellent choice, Judge.
No need. Thank you.
Representative Herron has a question.
Yeah, can I have some clarity on the where it talks about the $50 a day? Is that automatically taken out of folks' commissary every day? Is that an everyday thing, or can you explain that?
That is the maximum, Representative Herron, that can be taken out for any days per diem, but you can't take out more than 50% of what's in the account at any given time other than the initial first-time deposit, which is the money that they have when they come into the jail on their person.
Got you. And can you clarify for me, like, what overall what this bill, the intentions behind this bill is? Like, what is the? I don't think that I completely understand the bill. Like, what is this bill trying to do? Fix?
So we all know that from a fiscal standpoint, jails are the largest expense of nearly every county in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. That's a taxpayer expense if there's not some reimbursement coming in. And frankly, judges are the people who are putting people behind bars either to hold them prior to conviction or after sentencing. This just ensures that those folks who are being housed have a stake in their financial condition there if they have additional funds sitting in their canteen accounts. And again, this was common practice, I think, in jails throughout the state. The October 2021 ruling that specifically said you had to have a court order from the judge to be able to deduct any of those things created a problem because, again, the judge has no financial stake in any of this whatsoever. The county government does and the county jail does. But the judge sentences or holds someone without any regard to the financial condition of the county or the jail.
Thank you.
If I may, as a former member of fiscal court, we implemented that when I was charging, and that any judge at that time was able to state in the ruling that there's, someone was indigent and they can't pay. I assume that's still the case here.
I can't speak for all jails, but it is at Campbell County, and it is at most of the jails that I've talked to, sir.
Right.
And again, if they didn't have any money in their commissary account, there would be nothing to take as well if they were indigent in that situation.
Thank you. Anything further? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Representative Bentley?
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Bray?
Yes.
Representative Brown?
Yes.
Representative Dixon?
Yes.
Representative Fleming?
Yes.
Representative Frazier Gordon?
Yes.
Representative Herron?
Can I explain my vote?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to vote no on this today. I do know and understand the burden of our local jail systems and overall corrections. I do think that we need to be looking at some reform to take that burden away. And so I am going to vote no on this today, but look forward to working with you in the future.
Representative Huff?
Yes.
Representative Imes?
Yes.
Representative Johnson?
Yes.
Representative Koenig?
Yes.
Representative Lockett?
Yes.
Representative Marzian? Representative Miller?
Yes.
Representative Roberts.
Explain my vote. I'm a yes today, but I reserve the right to change my vote on the House floor. I'd like to learn some more about this bill. Thank you.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Representative Meredith.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion passes. That same shall pass on the House floor. Congratulations.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to record my presence and record votes.
Go right ahead, Representative
I would like to
Frazier.
record a yes vote on Senate Bill 135 and a yes vote on Senate Bill 106.
Representative Marzine, you want to record votes? Representative Huff, you want to record votes?
Yes, 106, a yes, please.
Representative Brown? Anybody else want to record a vote or have anything before? Representative Bray, would you like to introduce your guest before we finish up?
I would. So next to me today is my page. This is Jasper Rogers. Lives in Berea, goes to school in Rockcastle County. He'll be on the House floor today. Just want to thank him for being here.
Jasper, we welcome you to the committee. Happy to have you here today. Representative Johnson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just noticed looking out in the audience that I have a guest from Davis County. Jailer Art Madlener is out there. Just wanted to recognize him, say hello, and thanks for coming today. And there may be other jailers here I don't know about, but I do recognize him. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I also do have my jailer from Warren County, Mr. Stephen Harmon, here with us today, and I see Eric Vaughn from Simpson County and several others, Josh Lindblom from Hardin County. I don't know all of you, but I know there's a good contingent from the Jailers Association here today, and we welcome you all as well. Seeing no other business before the committee, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? We are adjourned.